Hey guys, so sorry for the lack of videos lately. We've been kind of distracted. We're trying to make our videos better quality, you know, all that good stuff, because we're not liking where the quality is right now. But yeah, hopefully from now on we'll start getting 1 or 2 videos in every week, hopefully 2 or more. I'd prefer that. But yeah, we've been busy with the next grade UE tour thing, also trying to come up with some good ideas and really plan that out. So like that video, like those videos. Alright, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about the cards that hopefully will be coming back this ban list. 3 cards actually. One that was actually still alive that last format, but this format I think it's slowly picking up more steam over the formats coming, and hopefully this format will be one that it'll boost up. And I'm gonna talk to you guys how many I think people should be running at least and all that. So let's get started. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is Compulse. So good things about Compulse are, first, it's chainable, you know. That is always good. The reason this was still alive last format through the whole rampaging of insectors is because it was chainable. They summon their insectors, they equip, you flip this, insector goes back to the hand, hornet goes to the grave. They kind of -1 in a way, even though they can reuse it, but you don't have to worry about them going ape shit on your, you know, your back rows and your whole field pretty much. So that was good. Another thing is it's like a 1 card out for pretty much any synchro and any exceed. Zen mains, that's always a big one that a lot of people have to waste their resources on. This is just, you flip this and it's like, oh, you have the Zen mains? No. Oh, you have a starters? No. You know, pretty much that's a big one right there. And, oh, obviously against windows, you know, they got the Shockmaster off. You set this, they call traps again. You flip it, chain to the Shockmaster. Shockmaster's gone, but the effect's still lingering, and you know, you go off with your stuff without worrying about the traps next turn. So that's another good one. Another thing is those pesky, you know, cannot be destroyed by battle monsters. You know, if you don't have that smashing, or in heroes if you don't have that spark or hero blast. Obviously in heroes I don't think it's that big of a problem actually. But if you don't have those things, you have this set, you just flip it and you just laugh at their face, you know, it's like, aha! You can even flip it before the monster's flipped in case you think it's a right course no man here, because they do sided like against heroes. So that's always good, you know. Another big one that you can actually notice in one of our deck profiles, I think, in our Xavier player Taco, he used 3 of these back in the day, for the fact that you can actually use this on your own Fultrum and just reuse the effect, you know, summon something, special him again and just summon something else. In heroes, use this on, like, you summon Stratos, you know, you get the effect off whatever, say it survives for next turn, then they attack it. If you really want to reuse that effect, you just bounce it back to the hand, you know. Or you summon the Veiler, chain this, effect still resolves, you get your Stratos back, you get another monster, they lose a Veiler. It's so good. Summon Stratos or pretty much any monster, summon it. You don't want to see a Bottomless, Compulse. You don't want to see a Deprison, Compulse. This is so good. It's a utility card for both against your opponent and for you. The only pretty much bad thing I can honestly think of is that if you use it on a normal monster of your opponent, it's kind of a plus for them, because you lose a card, they gain a card, and they can just resummon their monster or whatever, just reuse it next turn. But you really want to save this for those power plays, you know, where you know either you can go for a game or you can use it on an Exceed or a Synchro. So right now I'm running 1 of these in my heroes because I'm more back row heavy, so I don't need the chain ability as much. I still run 1 though because it's a good tech, but I suggest people be running at 2. Next one I'm going to talk about is Bottomless. First thing I'm going to say is people they have the little thing, you know, dispute about Bottomless is better, D% is better. Personally, I think D% is better, but Bottomless is still a must in the deck because of the fact that it keeps them from using, priority is gone, so it keeps them from using their effect. You know, they summon and they're ready to use their effect. That Zen Mighty, Bottomless, you know, it's gone. But then pretty much any big monster that they use and they want to get their effect, you just use this and stop it, you know. Another thing, against rabbits, I think everybody knows this is so good against rabbits. You know, the rabbit, you Bottomless both of them, it doesn't target, and that is so good to get a +1 off of this. It's, you know, you get both of them, and they can't really, I don't think they would waste Levier on a single vanilla, you know. But I think that there's more bad things about Bottomless than there is good. For example, you have to set this and just have it right there on the field the whole time, wide open for MST or pretty much any destruction or baiting out, really. they can bait this out with a Lila, because if they summon that Lila and you have multiple back rows, you kinda are obligated to use that Bottomless, because you don't want them to hit something that could be useful for you next turn. You know, you want a sure thing instead of a thing that you can't control, so you're gonna pretty much get baited out with that Lila. Another bad thing is that if your opponent goes first and goes all out, like in windups can do, this is completely useless, really. Because once they set up their field and their field princess is already out there, you have this in hand. What the hell are you gonna use this against, you know? So that's the thing I don't like about it. The good thing, obviously, is it does get rid of them permanently. So right now I'm only running one of these. I wouldn't suggest running any less, and maybe I guess if you have the space, run two. But I would honestly only side the second one for the rabbits. That's really the main thing I could see it being used against. Not really anything else. So that's Bottomless. And then the one that I really like this format, and I'm glad that it can come back, Deep Prison. Alright, Deep Prison works wonders. So many good things out of Deep Prison. Unlike Bottomless, if your opponent goes off first turn, you have this, you go second, you set it, your opponent still has to attack, because what's the point of getting a big monster out if you're not going to attack with it, you know? So you just flip this and they lose their monster, and it doesn't go to the grave, it doesn't get destroyed, so it can't be negated by any of that stuff. One bad thing is it does target, but I mean, the one bad thing for a lot of good things, really kind of like, you know, you'll get around that. You know, it is vulnerable to MSTing as well, but not as bad, and I guess it's vulnerable to the Lila. But I mean, again, that's why you have the Bottomless set, so you can just use it on the Lila, you know. But there's just so many good things about Deep Prison, in my opinion. It's just so good. You use it on that Sangan, because you know those people are gonna go tour guide Sangan, poke, so you don't drop that Gorsh or whatever. You use this on that Sangan, and they just completely neg, right? They don't get their search. You know that no matter who you are, you're gonna rage because you don't get your Sangan search. Deep Prison, I would not run less than 3. You know, right now I'm maining 2, siding 1, but I wouldn't run any less this format, because this card is so good. Every monster out there is pretty much meant to lead up to an attack. Deep Prison is in there, you know. So right now, like I said, I'm maining 2. I think that's a really good number. It's not cloggy, and you see it. You know, at 1 you don't really see it. At 2 you see it enough. So that was my review for those cards. I tried not to make it as long as, you know, normally I make it pretty long. I tried not to make it very long. So yeah, I'm gonna do some deck profiles this week. Maybe a planned deck, maybe my hero deck. X-Savers, we have Machinas, Gyrius I think we might do, but that's gonna be till Sunday. So yeah, tell us what you guys want to see first. You know, we would really appreciate it if you guys give us feedback. That would be really helpful. We're gonna try to get more videos in, like I said, and please, you know, subscribe, like the videos, leave comments, anything. You know, even if you're gonna score on us, man, tell us. We enjoy laughing at ourselves. So yeah, this is team member Gio from the Team Scrubs for us. Later.